Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Movie Brothers podcast. I'm your host, Parker Quinn, and with me as always is Brandon Brown. Brandon, how
No,
you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody else doing?
I hope they're doing good because we're
They
doing
better
good.
be.
Yeah, we're
We're doing
doing
good.
good.
They better be doing good. If not, continue to watch the video. Hope it makes you happy.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, guys, this is the Movie Brothers podcast, and we talk movies, TV shows, comic books, anything in pop culture, really. We had a lot of fun last episode. We were talking about our guilty pleasure movies, just movies that are considered bad, but we like watching them. They're fun. We're going to switch it up a little bit. So, Brandon, I feel like the superhero genre is probably the biggest movie genre going right now, and I think you can agree with me.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of great ones. We love the Avengers movies, we love The Dark Knight, we love, Logan and everything like that. But let's be honest, not all of them are good.
No,
That's
no. There's always a couple bad apples, man.
there, and it's Marvel, it's DC. It's not necessarily one over the other. They both have made some bad movies. So we're going to talk about bad superhero movies. These are just movies that are unwatchable or just straight up terrible. You watch it once, you will never watch it again. Um, do you want to go first or should I?
I could go first. What do you want to do first? DC or Marvel?
Uh, Pick random.
I guess we're going on Marvel.
Okay, I'll go DC for my first one.
So I think we can all agree that this movie is one of the worst,
Let me hear it.
most diabolical,
I think I know what you're
nasty
going to say.
piece of work
Oh, I think I
in
know what you're
Marvel
going to say.
history.
Let's
The
hear it.
Marvels.
Yeah.
Disgusting piece of work. I'm sorry. I hated that
I
movie so much.
I don't understand what happened with this movie. I mean, like, and this is coming from someone who actually liked Captain Marvel. Like,
Mm,
I actually liked the first movie. I liked the first movie, and then Marvel says, "Yeah, we're gonna do a sequel. We're gonna tie in Miss Marvel with it, and we're gonna bring in
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau." Thank you. Um, yeah, and I don't know what happened here, man. I mean, like for me, I think the first Captain Marvel, while not like a great movie, I actually liked it, had fun with it. And this one, I mean, there are two scenes in particular, and honestly, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly the two scenes I'm talking about. First and foremost, I don't understand what they did with Goose, with the Marvels.
Mm,
How like there were multiple gooses and the cats were like eating people and stuff. I mean,
man,
you picked it. You should say more about this than
for
me.
me, one of the things that pissed me off was like the storytelling because it was everywhere.
Yes,
One, what you call it, the relationship between Carol Danvers and Valkyrie. There was something there. They didn't want to explain it to us
it was
that they
just a
had a
cameo.
relationship.
It's just a
Um,
cameo.
It's like it's a cameo, but it should have just been a cameo, not be like, oh yeah, we had a relationship. I whatever. Remember, I love you. Bye. I'm like,
I know. I don't get it either. It was definitely
and
rushed.
then what else was it?
Well, let
The
me ask you
musical
this.
number.
I was going to bring that up, but let me ask you this. Do you even remember the name of the villain?
No,
I don't either.
no.
That's how memorable
Very,
this villain is. I don't even know her name. Like
this movie was very goddamn forgettable.
I, you, me, Chelsea, and Lorenzo went to see this movie in the theater. We got to a scene where they went on a planet and Captain Marvel warns the others saying like, "Okay, so just letting you know these people do not communicate with words." And they're like, "Okay, so how do they communicate?" They get off the ship and it's through song and dance. I They have a musical number in the middle of the film. I have never cringed so hard in any movie ever. As a matter of fact, I'm cringing at the theater and I'm literally saying, Chelsea's right next to me. She's not even looking at the screen. She's staring at me and she's laughing. And what makes it even worse, not only do they do this musical number, but Captain Marvel's superhero suit automatically turns into like some sort of Cinderella dress.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
why?
what?
Like,
Guys, we're watching a superhero film. We're not watching a Disney musical. I don't
but I'm
understand
sitting,
what's going on here.
but I'm sitting there. You guys look at me. My jaws just dropped. I'm like,
I know. I don't get it.
Like,
The
how could
only
they make
praise the only praise I actually will give this movie is the chemistry with the three characters.
yeah, the chemistry with the three characters was good, whatever,
Yeah,
because what you call it, like yeah, you had like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and
Tom
what you call
Holland
it, Tom
and yeah,
Holland all being like Spider-Man. You have
oh
all
yeah.
these you have these three characters who like have the what you call it,
Mhm.
who technically have the title of Marvel. You have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then Monica Rambeau, but she's actually called Photon.
Yeah, she's called Photon.
But
Yeah,
but yeah, along those lines, you have those three characters actually having a nice chemistry with each other. They have nice little girl time. They what you call it, party on the ship.
yeah,
What you call get to understand each other a bit more. That I liked. That I liked.
but it was
But
only like 5 minutes of the movie.
yeah,
And also the idea of whenever they use their powers, they switch uh like locations. I'm sorry, that was ridiculous too.
I was like, no, it doesn't need to
It
happen.
does like honestly, there's just a lot about this movie that just does not work. And this
That
is
movie,
coming,
oh, man.
the worst part is this was coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I love. And I personally think it's the best of the Guardians movies.
Oh yeah. I don't understand how you can have something like Guardians where like the sequel to each of those movies did better than the previous.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Like,
I mean that if that's your opinion, yeah, I agree. But for me, like, I like the first Guardians more than the second. But yeah, I do really like the
yeah.
second one still, though.
I
Hmm.
mean, it's just like, yeah, first one, good. Second one, good. Third one, I'm crying my eyes out. I'm like, this is good.
All honesty, I think this movie only exists because after Endgame came out, Disney went, "Huh, we should make more Marvel movies, make more money." But the
Mm,
problem with that is you look at the quantity, not the quality.
exactly. That's how they were doing it.
That's
Like, there was pumping out shit. Listen to what everybody had to say about it.
that's
Like,
why, like, I'll even say, like, at least half of the multiverse saga just did not work. I actually have one of them written down for one of my points that I might bring up. I don't know. But like half of these movies don't even work. And as a matter of fact, I'll even say half of these movies aren't even important. If you were doing
exactly.
if you were doing an MCU marathon of the multiverse saga, you can skip half the movies because they're not important.
Exactly. Like, so the last Thor movie, not important.
Love and Thunder,
Honest,
not important.
not important, man. I'm sick.
Eternals, not important. Captain America
It's
Brave New
just
World, not
no,
important.
exactly.
Like
Except
just
for like cameo wise, they bring into like the next Avenger movies and shit. I was like, okay, cool. But other than that,
yeah,
does not need to be
the
here.
only yeah like the only thing I would say about the Marvels that worked was not just the chemistry but the post-credit scene when we got to see Kelsey Grammer as Beast again.
Exactly. That
And
one, that
all
was on the post
honesty,
credit scene.
if you're Marvel and the best part of your movie is the post-credit scene, you fucked up.
Like, man, like I don't
Like
understand how it went so downhill.
I know, I don't understand what happened with this movie, and I know that this movie went through a tough production. Nia DaCosta, who directed the film, said this was not the movie that she wanted to make. She wanted to make something else. Not, I mean, when I say that, I mean she wanted to make Captain Marvel too, but it wasn't the execution that she wanted. That's what I mean by that.
And that's what happens when you let when the studio tries to put their grubby little hands in it and think they know better.
Exactly. Now, the odd studio note, sure. I mean, like, I'm sure, like, directors like Steven Spielberg has taken studio notes, and I'm sure studios do have good ideas. But if the entire movie is a studio note, why are you making it?
Exactly.
So, and luckily, they made up for it because the next movie after this was Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think you have to listen, and even Deadpool in that movie was like talking to Deadpool, like all the other Deadpools, like guys, the multiverse,
It's not
it's
working.
overdone. We need to stop. I'm like, thank you, Deadpool.
Even when Deadpool said like the multiverse is not working, only one movie did it right. The gays know it. It's called The Wizard of Oz. By the way, that's a quote from Deadpool and Wolverine, so don't cancel me if you get pissed off at that.
Exactly. Like if it does, not your type of content. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. Take care. So yeah, the Marvels, I agree with you. It's not a good movie.
Terrible. So what's your first pick?
Okay, my first pick, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna go with a DC film just because you went with a Marvel film. The first film I love. I love the first film, but ever since I saw this film, I have not rewatched the first film, and I'm actually hesitant to even watch the first film. You and I saw this movie in the theater together, and it's based off a DC property, but I wouldn't even call it a superhero movie. Joker Folie à Deux.
I had that on too on my
I
list.
do not understand what happened here. I mean, for first and foremost, when the first film came out, we were told this is a one and done thing. We're not going to do a sequel or anything like that. So clearly,
Because
this
the
movie is Warner Brothers saying, let's make more money.
because the director didn't even want
Todd
to make a
Phillips didn't even want
sequel.
to do it.
And then he's like, you know what? You want a sequel? Here's a sequel.
Yeah. And like, so he didn't even want to make this movie to begin with. So I think in a way, Todd Phillips was like, okay, if someone's going to screw it up, I'll screw it up and get a paycheck while doing it.
Exactly. And like, what was it? The
And
one scene, we're gonna build a mountain. Like,
we're going to
what
build
do
a
you mean?
mountain.
What do you mean by build a mountain? Like, wait, how do you build a
So,
mountain?
so first, let me just say this. One thing I will say, I applaud Todd Phillips to try and do something different with this film. When the rumors and actually, I shouldn't say rumors, the reports came out saying Joker 2 is going to be a musical, I actually embraced it. I thought that was a great idea. And they were bringing Harley Quinn in, and Lady Gaga was going to play Harley Quinn. I thought that was a great idea because if you know the Joker character, if you know the animated series, the comic books, the character has a very um like he'll dance around a dead body.
Exactly.
There are panels in the comics, like the flamboyance of the character, I guess you could say. There's a dead body on the ground, Batman's on the ground bleeding out, whatever, and Joker will be dancing around the body, just having fun. He's that sadistic.
Yeah.
Even when you watch the first Joker movie, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is dancing like all the time. Not just, and I'm not even just talking about like the bathroom scene that's iconic or the stair scenes that's iconic. Even when he's just walking down the road, you'll notice he, Arthur Fleck has music in him.
Exactly. Like for
So,
me, like the thing that made my bad for cutting you off again, but like the thing that made Joker one to work for me is like when you get into like the mental state of the Joker, it's
mhm,
like he thinks, or if you read in the comics, he thinks, or the reader is supposed to think that he's so insane that he's sane.
yeah,
And then
that makes
like
sense.
everybody else is insane.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think the best way to explain the first Joker movie, it's Taxi Driver meets the King of Comedy meets Batman. At least I think. I think that's the best way
Yeah.
to describe it. And so, yeah, like I said, I applauded the idea of making a musical, doing it different. And on top of that, you got Harley Quinn in there, and it's Lady Gaga coming off of A Star Is Born. It's like, okay, this is going to work. Like I knew for a fact this was going to work. I think Todd Phillips does not understand what a musical is.
Yeah.
Because let me say this. First of all, the musical numbers are just terrible. They're not well filmed at all. And you have Joaquin Phoenix, who played Johnny Cash in Walk the Lines, who clearly has a singing voice, and Lady Gaga. When you look at a musical, if you were to take, say, I don't know, West Side Story or Grease or Hairspray or whatever, if you take out the musical numbers and you just had the dialogue and the rest of the film, the movie would make no sense because the
Exactly.
characters express their emotions through song. When you look at Joker Folie à Deux, you take out any of the musical numbers, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. So it didn't make sense. Even if you look at like the older musicals from the 50s, like Singing in the Rain, you take out the musical numbers, the movie makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly. Like, man, like, oh,
Yeah.
like I like movies that like you can take a part out of it and then it
Mm-hmm.
still makes sense. But like, yeah, movies like this, like you just said,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make sense either way. You could have it in it, could have it out of it, could not be in it.
Yeah.
Still makes no sense.
Yeah. And I'm going to do a bit of a spoiler warning here because I think as be- here's the weird part. You and I went into the theater. We heard the movie was terrible, but we were like, you know what? We like the first film. Let's go see it. About halfway through the film, I don't actually maybe not even halfway through the film. You and I are looking at each other, being like, "This isn't that bad." Like, this is fine. The ending is the what destroys the film. Because there are two things. Number one, Harley is not like she was not never in love with him at all
She was
in
in
the
love
first
with the
place.
idea.
Yeah, she loved the idea of him, but she didn't love him. And so that makes me feel like
Ugh.
this movie came out in like what was the point of the movie then? Because other than the musical numbers, the whole point of the movie was the relationship between the Joker and Harley Quinn.
I feel like that's the point where like Todd Phillips was just like, okay, cool, now I'm gonna on everybody.
I don't know. I don't know if he was trying to do like a plot twist or anything like that. But also
The
in
ending.
in any in any like version of the characters with Joker and Harley Quinn, Joker's the one that's more distant than Harley.
Yeah.
Harley's like obsessed with the Joker.
Yeah,
Did a
because
reverse
Stockholm.
psychology here thing,
Yeah.
and the execute. I mean, it could have worked, but
Because
the execution of the idea just did not work out.
the character for Harley Quinn, she has Stockholm syndrome. So she's just infatuated with the Joker. And it literally doesn't matter how much abuse
Yeah,
she gets from him, how much shit she treats her. What you call it? She's just infatuated in its Stockholm syndrome. And that's based on Harley Quinn's character. And then later on, she realizes, like, okay, cool, Bats. You trying to help me out. Okay, cool. So this is wrong. I don't
yeah,
like this. Wow, I'm starting to realize that this is bad. And then the way how they went about it in the movie, I was like,
it made no sense.
what?
Hmm.
Like, I understand you're trying to modernize it, but what?
Yeah,
I'm like, kudos to you for the director for like giving the studio the middle finger and just piecing with a check.
yeah.
But and it was the ending of the movie that
I
got
was
me,
just
man.
about to bring that up. Once again, spoiler alerts. If you haven't seen Joker Fully Do, if you even care to see it, spoiler alert. For two movies, we've been following Arthur Fleck because he's the Joker. Yeah, he's not the Joker. So what was the point of not just this movie but the first movie?
Exactly.
If this character is not meant to be the Joker, is not the Joker, why did we even bother making these movies?
Well, it was supposed to be like the person that helps make the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like you see him at the end of the movie, somebody else walks up, what you call it, says his line from when he killed the talk show host from the first movie,
Yep, the
and
Robert De Niro.
then continuously stabs in his stomach, and then as Joaquin Phoenix's character dies on the ground, he's not the Joker. And then you see the guy in the distance, blurred out, like how you see me in Parker's webcams, just use a knife, makes himself a smile, and starts laughing. I'm like,
They tried to go with the
so
Heath Ledger Joker.
yeah, it's like what? So it's supposed to be Heath Ledger's Joker, or it's supposed to like,
I don't- like
ugh.
so like there's a possibility that guy wasn't even the Joker either. Like it's just I I don't know what happened. Just because I feel like these both of these movies were pointless. The whole point of the first film was we're going to learn the Joker's origin without Batman in the picture.
It's
And
absolutely
then we find out he was never the Joker after all. It's like, then what was the point of these movies? And again, this is coming from someone who loves the first Joker movie. I haven't seen the first film since because I rewatched it before we saw the second film. And then um, a part of me doesn't even want to watch it anymore because I'm like, this is not a real movie. This is not a Joker movie at all.
it's
So
just a perversion that I don't want to watch ever again. To be
exactly.
honest, man.
This is living proof of I understand the first Joker movie is the only. No, actually, it's not the only. It is the first R-rated film to make over $1 billion at the box office. It was Best Picture nominated. Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar, so it got a lot of praise. Even if you didn't like the movie, you got to acknowledge like it was successful.
Like they brought in numbers.
Yes, did they ever? Just because a movie made numbers, just because a movie did well with the Academy Awards, does not mean it needs a sequel.
And that's what Hollywood needs to understand that not everything needs to have number two, number three, number 21. Like,
No, no.
no, have a piece of artwork, have it be good,
Mm-hmm.
leave it at that, and then let other directors in the future build off on that, like make their own thing. Use this as a backbone to like make something new, make something better.
Yeah,
Like how we had like there's I could say numerous number of like movies from back in the day that literally built up what you call it other what you call it other movies. like now seen in the past couple of years. Like, say for instance, Star Wars
Hmm.
took a lot of inspiration from Dune,
Yep.
and then Harry Potter took inspiration from Star Wars.
Yep.
And each of those movies were good in their own right.
Yep.
Not every,
Exactly.
hence they did it. They have sequels, yes.
Hmm.
But now you see like Star Wars is dying down. Even with the fan base, it's
Yeah.
dying down.
Honestly, the fan base has kind of turned me off of Star Wars.
Like, man, I just got tired of it because like it's getting political now. And I was like, you know what? I want my Star Wars to be political.
Well, you know what kills me? Honestly, the fan base for Star Wars kills me more than the quality of the films. And let me explain why. Ryan Johnson directed The Last Jedi, and I didn't like Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But like when I walked out of the theater, I just went, you know what? I'm disappointed. It wasn't the movie I wanted, but at least we're getting the next film. Like I kind of moved on. Ryan Johnson got death threats from Star Wars fans because they didn't like his movie.
Yeah.
It's like, chill the fuck out. It's a movie. And don't do the excuse of it's my childhood. Okay. Indiana Jones is my favorite movie of all time. I didn't like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You don't see me sending death threats to Steven Spielberg.
For me, I don't mind what you call it. If the movie's bad, it's bad. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
a movie.
upset. I'm not gonna blame like am I gonna blame the director? Maybe if I don't have enough information of what happened or what went wrong.
Hmm.
And they're like if most the people I'm gonna like put out the most is the studio because they're the
Yeah.
ones like helping produce it. They're the ones getting trying to get everything towards it. They're the ones pushing it out. So make it work. If you guys preview the movie and you realize it's not working, have a test audience, have a test screening, and realize it's not doing well, cancel the date, push it for to be another
That's going
date
to
in the
cost them a lot
future.
more money if they need to like do a lot of
Oh,
reshoots
okay,
though
yeah.
too, right? Like that's the thing. I don't think a lot of studios would do that, depending on which film and how much
Again,
money they're willing to give. But like, yeah, reshoots and everything like that, it's going to cost them a lot of money. So anyway,
yeah.
like I'm not sending Todd Phillips a death threat. He made a bad movie,
Yeah.
and I'm letting it go. I'm just bringing it up because that's the topic for today's podcast. So anyway,
I was like, yeah.
Joker, fully adieu. What is your next pick, Brandon?
My next pick, should I do Marvel or DC? Or should
It doesn't matter. You know what? Maybe do DC just because I actually it's up to you. It's up to you.
okay, I'm going with Birds of Prey. And
I
that's
hate
how
this
we
movie.
became friends.
That's how we became friends. You're right. So backstory, little story time, people. Brendan and I worked in a restaurant together. We're not going to say it just in case we're not allowed to. The name of the
Yeah.
restaurant. We're not going to say anything bad about the restaurant, though, of course. Um, at the time, I was a busser, and you were working in the kitchen. And I was talking to someone about superhero movies, and Birds of Prey had just come out. I have not have even seen it yet. Black Mask was the main villain, a character that I loved in the comic books. You saw the movie before me. You were walking past me when we were having a conversation, and you go, "Have you seen the Birds of Prey movie?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Black Mask is a pussy in this movie." And then you walked away, and I was like, "Okay." And then I watched it, and then like a week later or whatever it was, I saw you, and I was like, "Yeah, you were right. He was a pussy." And then that's how we became friends.
Like, man, the only good thing I can say about this movie is the fact it made us friends. Other than that,
Yeah,
this movie
honestly, I
sucked
mean,
ass.
this like a lot of people would say, I wish this movie never existed. I'm like, you know what? I'm happy this movie exists because you and I would not have met.
Exactly. When I just would have walked right by, and be like, oh, hi,
Yeah.
hi.
You know
Like,
what? This is not a good movie at all. It really isn't. The one thing I will say is Margot Robbie's fantastic.
yo, it's Margot Robbie,
Dude, I mean, like,
amazing actor.
on it,
What you call
like,
it?
I'm not gonna be mad at James Gunn if he recasts, but I will be disappointed.
He's probably gonna recast, but I'm gonna be
I
sad.
I don't know. I'm hoping because like, okay, spoiler alert for Peacemaker. Am are you caught? I just don't want to.
No, I already know what happens. I just need to
Okay,
what you call
so
it
spoiler
actually
alert
get
for
caught up.
Peacemaker season 2 because the show is actually currently airing by the time this episode drops. So if you haven't seen Peacemaker season 2, they brought back Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. So they're bringing back a lot of actors from the Suicide Squad. So my hope is, yeah, they he brings back Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn because honestly, I'll even say this: what Ryan Reynolds is to Deadpool is what Margot Robbie is to Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just a quick side note. So let's talk about Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. The character he should not have played Black Mask.
Ewan McGregor is a fantastic actor.
He's an fantastic actor, but
He's he's miscast.
he should not have been Black Mask because literally I'm sitting there watching how Black Mask treats people. I was like,
That's not the way he
okay,
would have done it. Yeah,
okay, no, Black Mask would have just beat the person senseless instead of like what you call it, making them look like a fool.
yeah. Was it like I've only seen the movie once, and it was during COVID. Wasn't it like a stripper pissed him off, and so he made her stand up on a table and do something?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, and honestly, this has never happened to me before. Swear to God.
No, there wasn't even a stripper. It's just a random girl that pissed him off. He's like,
Was
stay on
that
the
it?
table, strip right now. I
Jeez.
was like,
Yeah, like I don't
that's
know,
not his character.
I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, this is something that has never happened to me before. When I watched Birds of Prey, I didn't see it in the theater. I watched it like when it was on Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
I needed to take breaks while watching the movie. That has never happened to me before. Whenever I watch a movie, whether if it's good or bad, I will sit there and watch it until the movie ends.
See,
Birds of
I've done it
Prey, I
once.
watched like 45 minutes and I was like, I'm going to take a break. I left, came back, watched another 45 minutes and was like, how much longer is left? 45 minutes. I'm going to go take a break. I never do that. I
Like,
did that with
man,
Birds of Prey. That's how bad this movie is.
see, the fact that I was sitting there watching it and I was like getting a headache. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
only one other superhero movie that gave me a headache, and that's on my list. That's for Marvel.
It's a Marvel movie. Okay.
But like, I don't want to rewatch it because there's like some things I don't remember. And the only thing I do remember is like I loved Harley Quinn's character.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Black Canary's character. Like, but anybody else, I was just like,
You know what? For me, like none. Harley's amazing. Huntress was cool,
Huntress is
but
cool.
she's only in the movie for like 10 minutes.
That's why I can't say anything about Huntress,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Like she was great when she was on screen. And the actress who played her, I can't remember the actress's name. She was great, but she's only in the movie for 10 minutes. The other characters, I couldn't care for.
I didn't mind Black Canary only because like what you call it, liked her. Like the fact that we got her superpower because like
To be
we
honest,
just
I
came
completely forgot Black Canary was in this movie until you mentioned it. That's how
yeah
memorable this movie is.
because like man, this movie is like so forgettable. But
Mm-hmm.
the last time we got a Black Canary was in the Arrowverse, the
Yep.
TV show,
Yep.
and then what you call it, even then like his superpower was tech based,
Yep.
not like actual like
Well,
what you
I
call
don't
it.
forget Arrow. Granted, Arrow exists in the same world as Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and stuff like that, but at least
Yeah,
Arrow was going for the realistic, gritty thing. They were doing
yeah,
like, okay, Starling City, where Green Arrow is the home of like crime, gangsters, and stuff like that. Um, Central City is the home of metahumans. That's what
yeah,
they separated it, right? So, of course, they were going for the realistic route for Arrow, but I get what you're saying.
yeah. This is like I just need like if I'm getting like a comic book or character into like any type of form of media, I want it to be accurate. But okay, cool, I can work with that.
Mhm.
But in this, we got that, so I was like, that's why probably I liked her a little bit more. But other than that, movie forgettable.
Yeah, I think so too. I honestly can't say too much about this movie just because I've only seen it the one time, three different parts, and I haven't watched it since. And it's one of those out of sight, out of mind. I can't even
Exactly, doesn't even
talk too
exist
much about it.
anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Um, I might switch it up and go with a Marvel movie for this one. Um, my next pick is Eternals.
I didn't mind it, but then it is,
Here's what
yeah,
did not work for me about Eternals. I first of all, I applaud Marvel for trying to do something different because this was very different from anything they've done before. The execution didn't work.
yeah,
And I think the two biggest things that really didn't work. Number one, the Eternals is a team of 10 superheroes. They introduced 10 superheroes in one movie. And it didn't work because this is too many characters in one movie. Way too
Exactly.
many.
So
Like
like
at least Guardians of the Galaxy had five. The
so
Avengers, the Avengers, we were introduced to these characters one at a time, which each movie, and then they came together. Guardians of the Galaxy, we were introduced to five characters, and that's good. 10 characters, 10 main characters in one movie that's like 2.5 hours long. This does not work.
it's like it's too much. Like I don't understand. Nobody like understood from what Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
No one
Too many.
understood like the fact that too many characters will ruin the movie,
Yep.
and then they continue to do it.
Yep. So
Like
that's
what they should, like they should. My bad, but like
no, you're good.
they should have went the Avengers route, man. Like make like two characters or three characters be in their own movie. You should
Mhm.
like don't even call it by their like the superhero name or whatever. Just give it a title, figure it out, and then have three movies with like some of those characters in each movie, and then make all those characters just meet in the middle for Eternals. Be like their own little Avengers movie.
Yep. Um, the second thing that didn't work for me, none of the characters were likable.
Yeah.
I didn't care for any of them.
I didn't like Icarus. I didn't like what you call it, Cersei. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like Mari, whatever name
So you're
was.
naming these characters, and I'm like, I know Icarus and Cersei. I
Icarus,
I don't know
Cersei.
the other characters' names.
For me, like,
Like,
sorry, I love Black Knight, and they did
oh,
him dirty.
well, they're trying to get him introduced in this film and then bring him into another film, and that didn't work because we haven't seen him since. Um, like all honesty, at the end of Eternals, when Icarus, we find out Icarus is the bad guy and he betrays them. I'm literally sitting in the movie theater watching this movie, and I'm like, I hope Icarus just kills them. I'm
And then
I'm
like
I'm rooting for the villain. That's not a good
exactly like,
sign, guys. Like, I
buddy,
don't care for these characters at all. If any of them died, I didn't care.
they went so far from the comics.
I know.
Because like what? It's supposed to be like it's supposed to have like Eternals, and then you're supposed to have the Deviants who are like what
And the
Thanos's.
Sentinels or something like that. Or
Yeah,
not Sentinels. I'm going mind blank.
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
So you have the Eternals, and then you have
That's
the
how much I care
Deviants.
about this movie.
Buddy, I wanted to do good because like it would have went so well with Thanos' backstory because Thanos is technically an Eternal,
Yep.
but they changed that backstory for some reason from the comics. So like you have a deviant gene. So like on Earth in the comics, you have your regular superheroes, and then you have your deviants who are the mutants.
Yep.
And then in this, space-wise, you have the Eternals, and then you have whatever Thanos is.
Yep.
And now what in this movie, Eternals are robots.
It went all over the place. This movie, honestly, it didn't make any sense to me.
Oh man, that movie hurt my head.
So yeah,
And
for
I'm
me, the main reasons why I don't like this movie is because too many characters in one movie. They went way too over the top with like the comic book stuff in terms of like it didn't make any sense. And quick side note too, when everyone says, "Oh, they should do this because it was in the comic books. They should do that because it was in the comic books." Not everything from the comic books is going to translate well into film.
exactly
Not even
like
comic books aside, like books too. Like I'll give you an example. The Great Gatsby with DiCaprio. My sister loves that movie. I hate it. And let me explain why. My sister loves the book, and she's like, "Oh, but that happened in the book. It happened in the book." And I'm like, just because it happened in the book doesn't mean it translated well in film.
exactly like
Like it was too over dramatic and everything like that. So anyway, those
yeah,
2 points, and also I didn't care for any of the characters. None of them were likable.
terrible.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like doesn't need to be like translated like well into movie. Just adapt it so like people can be like, okay, cool, this works, this makes sense, and they're
Mm-hmm.
staying true to the source at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, even if they have to like go off a bit. But they went too far off.
Yeah.
They
Like
went too far off.
I'll give you one more example of how comics don't always translate well in film, and Zack Snyder did it well. In Watchmen, when New York is destroyed, in the comic, it was a giant like squid monster. In the movie, he decided, what if it was like a beam that Dr. Manhattan made or something like that? If they went with the squid monster, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it wouldn't have worked.
No, you're right about that.
So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're getting sidetracked a little bit, but yeah, Eternals is for me, I think one of the worst superhero movies that we have right now.
Then which one? You want me to go next after that, or
I mean, do you have any last minute points you want to say about Eternals, or are you ready to move on?
Eternals? I hope Marvel continues to learn from that mistake, making that one of the top three of their what you call it things to learn from is quality over quantity.
Yep. And I
Yep.
think I think we're getting a change in that now
Yeah, and
because
don't
next year we're only getting two movies. That's it.
exactly,
Yep.
and don't be like trying to literally like change everything. Make sure you have a competent director who has done their research, who has a passion for this,
Hmm. And
instead of picking handpicking.
by the way, none of the Eternals are expect or have been announced for Doomsday.
Like the only time we've seen fucking Eternal was in Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, we didn't see any. We haven't seen any Eternals since this one movie. So I think Marvel has at least been like, yeah, okay, this movie didn't work. These
Oh no, we
characters will
oh did
not.
you not? You watched Marvel Zombies, right?
Yeah, were they in
Yeah,
there?
yeah, Icarus. Icarus fighting Captain Marvel.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Like
I didn't
fucking,
like Marvel Zombies either. Like,
you know when like the three friends are literally driving through the desert and they find a
mhm.
horde and then something's fighting in the sky.
Oh, that was Icarus that she was fighting.
Yeah, yeah, that was Icarus she was
Okay, I was
fighting.
wondering who that was because I was like, I don't know who this guy is.
I
Okay,
was like, what you're
now that
watching,
I
I'm
know.
like,
But you know
really?
what? I mean, the point is that movie came out in 2021. We haven't seen these characters, and
Yeah,
nor have they made any announcements saying that these characters are coming back.
yeah.
So clearly, Marvel has been like, yeah, we dropped the ball on that one.
Which I am sad about, but
It's
oh,
too bad
hoping
too because
good.
like they picked great actors: Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, Kit Harington. By the way, that moment when Rob Stark and Jon Snow saw each other in Eternals and were introduced to each other, the entire movie theater, you can tell everyone was like, "Those are the Stark brothers." Game of Thrones reference. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. What is your third and final pick?
Third and final pick.
Mhm.
I'm gonna scratch one of the DC off because I don't even want to talk about that. We're not talking about that. That movie was just straight hot doo-doo water. We're not talking about that.
Go.
So the other movie that gave me a headache,
Hmm.
other than Birds of Prey, I told you before, was a Marvel movie. Fan for Stick.
I did not write that down because I know you were going to pick that one.
Man, my head hurt.
I saw this movie for the very first time recently before First Steps came out. Fantastic Four First Steps. So because I was like, you know what? I've never seen it. It's been 10 years. I know it's terrible, but like at least I can say I've seen it.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck happened with this movie.
I told you, man, brace yourself.
Oh my
Brace
God.
yourself.
First and foremost, the one thing that is just like, what? Why does Doctor Doom look like a sex doll? Am I wrong?
Buddy, he looks like a messed up, used up glow stick from Wish.com or Dollarama that you forgot under your bed for the past 2 weeks because he went to a rave or you went to fucking the park for Canada Day or 4th of July or Independence Day.
It's, yeah. Yeah.
Man,
This movie just made no sense.
for me, it was just like they marketed it as you're gonna see these guys like grow into their powers and shit,
Yeah.
whatever. They even showed like scenes that weren't in the movie in the trailers. I mean, like everybody does that, but like
Reshoots, dude.
it's not been reshoots. Like they just didn't even have it. They just had like a little like scene of it on a TV screen in the movie.
Well,
Like
this is we talked about this earlier. This is the perfect example of studio interference. Josh Trank, who directed this movie, literally said, "This isn't even close to the movie I wanted to make. Not even close." Like I think I'm probably wrong when I say this, so don't quote me. But I saw like an article and they were like, "Okay, can you give us a percentage of what you wanted in this movie like ended up in the final product?" He's like 5%.
that's probably true, man.
5% of the movie that he wanted to make was in this movie. And
Man,
he
that's
was the
probably true.
director.
Buddy, what I'm telling you, the first 10 minutes of this movie gave me a headache. My head was pounding.
Mm.
And hence I worked at a movie theater. After I finished my shift, me and my friend went to go watch it. We just walked to the movie theater. We had a headache. I'm like, yo, bro, do you have Tylenol? Do you have Tylenol? For me, the one thing I hated about this movie was what to call it? Yeah, the training scene. All of a sudden, to like they get the powers, Reed runs away,
That's pissing me
and
off the
then
most.
literally it was like 2 years later. I was like,
Yeah.
or a year later, a couple months later. I'm just like,
I think it was like 3 years or something like that. But yeah, for
so
me,
what about their training?
yeah. So for me, yeah, the idea that Reed like ditches them. Reed Richards would never do that. And I don't care what version you're talking about, Pedro Pascal or I can't pronounce his first name, Ewan Grufford or something like that, who played Reed in the Chris Evans Fantastic Four movies. He would never do that. Comic
Exactly.
books, animation, whatever. He would never abandon his family. So
And
why did
they
he do it in this movie?
the fact they went to the negative zone instead of space, I was like, it's a nice
That
twist,
didn't
but
bother me
I think it's a
because
nice twist, but at the same
mhm,
time,
that didn't bother me because we already had the Fantastic Four origin story beforehand when
yeah,
Chris Evans was the Human Torch. And in the comics, there are two different origin stories for them. In the Ultimate Universe, they did go into what's it called
negative
again?
zone, negative zone.
Negative Zone. Thank you.
That's literally
So
what they were trying to do with
that's
this
what they
one.
were doing. Yeah. So like, I honestly, that didn't bother me at all. Um, I just think I don't know, man. I mean, this movie is just a mess.
See, the only saving grace this movie can have is if they bring back Miles Teller as what you call it,
Yeah.
the
And
Maker,
yeah,
as a
I've
Maker
you
for Doctor
sent me
Doom's
that
team.
on Instagram or something like that. That there's a fan theory that Miles Teller is coming back as fantastic as Mr. Fantastic in the
But
multiverse for Doomsday, but he's playing like the evil version of Reed Richards
yeah, because
in the comics.
like you said, in the Ultimate Comics, they went
Mhm.
to the negative zone to get their powers.
Yep.
And you know how the Ultimate Comics, like what you call it, went. Reed
Yeah.
was like literally not the our typical Reed, kept on doing stupid shit, kept on like doing questionable stuff, and now he became the Maker.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna try to save his character or like save that movie by save whatever percentage of that movie they can save,
Hmm.
and what you call it, put him in Avengers Doomsday on Doom's team as the Maker.
I think that would be great. Honestly, I would love to
See,
see that.
I would love that because wasted potential.
Well, it's not just wasted potential because of the storytelling, but wasted potential with the actors.
That's what I mean with
This
the
movie has
actors.
a
Wasted.
fantastic cast. Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan are like two of my favorite actors working right now. And I can guarantee you, like I said, 5% of this film, again, paraphrasing, I don't know if it was 5%, it probably was not the movie that Josh Trank wanted to make. And I'm sure the actors were like, when they saw the movie, if they even saw the movie, they just went, this is not what I signed on for.
Touch man,
Like,
hot doo doo water.
hmm, is it ever? And like, yeah, the Doctor Doom thing made no sense. The fact that he survived in the negative zone for 4 or 5 years, that makes no sense.
It was like
Like,
without help from like I'm not gonna get too into the comics, but like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, the Johnny situation in the comics where he was trapped, but then he had help.
yeah.
I mean, like by yourself in the negative zone, it's like going on Mars or going straight to hell, and you're just sitting there cooling for like
That's
years.
like being in hell and waiting for a portal to open for like 4 or 5 years. And it's like, okay, well, like a portal for you to come back or something like that. And you're just kind of like, well, how did you survive hell for 4 or 5 years? That makes no sense. You can't,
Exactly.
you know? Um, yeah, this movie does not work. Again, and I saw this movie for the very first time like a few months ago. Because I was getting prepared for Fantastic Four First Steps. And thank God First Steps worked. Because, like, listen, I grew up with the Chris Evans Fantastic Four films, but I'll say they don't hold up.
Exactly.
So, seeing like a Fantastic Four film that actually worked. The funny thing is, everyone before First Steps came out, everyone said the best Fantastic Four movie is The Incredibles, and like
Wow.
they're not wrong, but like at the
They're not
same time,
wrong,
it's
but
like
like
that's sad, you know. But yeah, First Steps, we actually have like an amazing, dare I say,
no,
an actual fantastic
like
Fantastic Four movie.
thank God for that movie, man, because that list because the Fantastic Four is one of my favorite teams in the comics.
Oh yeah,
One of my
like I
favorite
grew up with
teams.
that '90s animated show.
Yeah.
I grew up with that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. I have two picks here, and I'm only gonna pick one.
Process of elimination.
Do you want Marvel or DC for this one?
I said a Marvel.
You want
Wait, you
Marvel?
did you know you did, wait, you haven't done that many Marvel, so you do Marvel.
I'll do Marvel
Yeah.
because I did Eternals and Joker too.
And I did Marvel's Fantastic Four and Birds of Prey.
Okay, I'll go DC actually, so we kind of
DC?
even
Cool.
out. Yeah, this is an older one. There's a possibility you haven't even seen this movie, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Is that the one where he had he split personalities?
No, that's Superman 3, which is also terrible. Superman
Quest for
4.
Peace? I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, Nuclear Man, the Dolph Lundgren looking motherfucker. It's not Dolph
What?
Lundgren, but it looks like him.
Superman Quest for Peace.
You know what? I'm not going to say this one because you haven't seen it, and there's not much to say about it. So I'll just say the other film that I have listed here:
Okay.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. To those of you who are
Memories.
actually watching, that reaction tells you everything.
The movie broke my heart.
So before you know what, before I get to the negative, let me actually say the praise points. This movie gave us Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool,
Yeah,
and you know what? It worked. Ryan Reynolds is only in this film for like the first 5-10 minutes or something like that.
exactly.
Um, Unfortunately, this movie was being made during a writer's strike, so Ryan Reynolds actually wrote the Deadpool dialogue himself, and it worked. Show hence the proof that how Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine have worked because Ryan Reynolds wrote wrote the scripts. So he had to write his own dialogue for X-Men Origins Wolverine. When he showed up to work those days, the script literally said Deadpool talks really fast. How, as an actor, how the fuck are you supposed to work with that? We're dropping the F bomb a lot this
Yeah,
episode. We're gonna be
a
bleeping a lot.
lot.
It does, yeah, it's not bad. Um, so he had to write his own dialogue. And so, but yeah, but he did a great job with the film. What kills me about this movie, they literally chose the most boring origin story for Wolverine.
Yeah, man.
The opening credits of this film show Wolverine and Sabretooth fighting in World War One, World War Two, like Vietnam, like all these wars. Why couldn't that be the movie? I would have loved to have seen that movie instead. And then
exactly.
maybe if they wanted to do a sequel, the second film was okay, he gets the adamantium claws and hence the Wolverine origin story. They also tried to make an X-Men movie and not a Wolverine movie because Gambit's in the movie. And I'll actually admit, Taylor Kitsch did a good job as
Yeah, he
Gambit.
did a great job as Gambit. But then,
Channing Tatum's better, in my
what
opinion.
was Will.i.am's character?
Oh my God, I actually forgot about Will I Am.
What was his character?
Like
Like,
Wraith or something like that.
like
Oh my
then,
God, I
this
completely forgot. Why? Okay. Why is Will I Am in this movie?
I don't know.
Were the
I
Black
don't
Eyed Peas
know.
still big in 2009?
Oh yeah, they're always
Were they?
big.
I don't like. I remember they were big. I don't remember at what time and when and all that. But like, yeah. So that makes no sense. The Blob, again, a character that works in the comic books, but bringing him into film does not work.
It did not work, man. I'm sorry.
I just,
Like, ooh, you might as well just brought in Juggernaut.
yeah, honestly. And you know what? I'll even go as far as to say this: the romance between Wolverine and whatever her
Emma Frost's sister.
Kayla. Yeah, I think her name was like Kayla or something like that. It didn't make sense.
It was bullshit, man.
It
I'm
actually
sorry.
didn't make sense because they kill her off, and then it's like, oh no, she's alive. She pretended to love you and stuff like that because she was an agent of Stryker, and it was like, but at the end of the film, she's like, oh, it was real to me. I actually did love you, but I was working for Stryker. It's like, okay, that makes no sense. That
Like,
that literally made no sense at all. They overstuffed this film with too many characters. Once again, a huge point that we have pointed out about these movies that we just mentioned for this episode. And I've just scratched the surface because the Weapon 11 thing,
I was gonna get to that because why?
I'm gonna let you take over for that because I've said a lot already.
So, there's not a lot of people I know that love Deadpool more than me besides Parker. Literally, Oh, you're supposed to. That was supposed to be a witty person, hence him having to do his own lines and him actually doing a good job.
Hmm.
And then they sewed his mouth shut. They made him have blades coming out of his hands like Baraka from Mortal Kombat, and he's having other people's superpowers. I'm sorry, but like the
Cyclops.
post
That's another character that's in this movie for no reason.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
literally, he's having other people's superpowers. Like the only other superpower he should have is teleportation because in the comics he has a
Mhm.
teleportation belt,
He does.
or
Yes.
fucking, or like in the Deadpool or in the new Deadpool movies, he has a what you call it. He has Cable's fucking time watch.
Yep.
So that's basically a sense of him having that type of power. Okay,
Hmm.
cool, whatever. It, it makes no sense
You
to
call this
shut his mouth
this character the way Batman is called the Dark Knight and the way Superman is called the Man of Steel. Deadpool is called the Merc with the
with a
mouth,
mouth.
and they sewed his mouth shut. They changed his superpowers completely. Like you said, they went for the Wolverine, except it's blades coming out of his arms. First of all, that makes no sense. He has an adamantium skeleton, so if that's the case, he can't bend his arms.
Exactly.
But also, like, if you do that to Superman, that's like saying, okay, Superman will have all his powers except for flight. That
Like
okay,
if you're
we're
not
gonna
doing year one Superman,
yeah,
okay, because like
yeah.
year one, he didn't get flight until what you call it
We're gonna do
much
Hulk.
later.
We're gonna do Hulk, but we're gonna take away super strength. Isn't that kind of the whole purpose? We're gonna do Thor, but we're gonna take away his hammer.
Like we're gonna take away, we're gonna what you call it have
Like,
Cyclops, but we're gonna take away his glasses.
yeah, like it actually just makes no sense. It
Like
literally makes no sense for these
I
characters
don't
to be
know.
like that. Um,
Oh, man, that
there,
movie gives me a headache.
honestly, this movie's just depressing to watch.
Like
When you watch The Dark Knight, yes, it's a dark movie. Even when you watch Logan, it's a dark movie. But they sprinkle humor here and there and like some lighthearted moments. There is
the
no
one
lighthearted moments in this film at all. It's just depressing to watch. Nothing good is happening at all. Wolverine meets an old couple that help him. They give him a jacket and a motorcycle, but they get killed just like that. Then he goes off to help someone else. They get killed just like that. And it's just like there's no hope in this movie at all. And especially how the movie ends, too. His girlfriend dies. He loses his memory. He sees her dead body and he's like, I don't know who that is. Tragic as hell. But at
Patrick
the same
O'Fallon
time,
helps
you're just like, okay, can we get like some sort of victory in this film? Even the villain, William
exactly.
Stryker, survives because obviously he's in X-Men too. So obviously he was going to survive anyway because this is a prequel. But like, kill off a villain or something like that. Because again, there is no sense of victory in this film. There was no comedic moments. And if there were, it's not memorable at all and wasn't funny. Just
Just not even thinking about it, like
there's no
it
hope.
doesn't make sense. The movie doesn't make sense. Yes, the Wolverine has like a tragic backstory. That's why
Hmm.
Professor X, which one wants to help him so bad because he can see how much pain he went through. But this movie didn't make sense. Okay, cool. You have X-Men 1.
Hmm.
What you call it? You have X-Men 2. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think
Yeah,
about it, but like I still
no, it's
can't even
true.
understand it,
No,
man.
it's crazy. But I will also say the performances are good. Like Hugh Jackman has said, I hate this movie. He straight up said, I hate X-Men Origins Wolverine. He did a great job in the movie, though. Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds did a great job in like the 15 minutes that he was in. Liev Schreiber, who I think doesn't get enough credit playing Sabretooth, he did a great job. Like Taylor Kitsch as Gambit, I mentioned earlier. All the actors show up for work. There's not one bad performance in this movie. It's just the execution of the storytelling. And again, this movie was made during a writer's strike, so I'm actually even questioning why they even bothered making this movie.
exactly.
Especially granted, they were coming off the heels of X Men: The Last Stand, which it's not a great movie, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine,
It does
but
whatever.
like, but you're coming off of not only that, but the first two X Men movies, which are great. So I don't know. I feel like if you do something like that, not only is it a cash grab of we are trying to make another movie in a franchise without a script, but also it is a you're ruining the franchise's reputation right there.
Like I hope more future, like I said before, I said this multiple times in this already. I hope future studios or studios right now will literally realize like sometimes these things don't work.
Hmm.
They don't work.
Yeah, no.
So might as well just take your time with it.
And you got to
Make
be
sure the
mindful
story
of
is
that.
good.
You got
Yeah,
to be
make sure
mindful of
the
that. Like, even if you are to make a movie, and even if you do believe in the movie, you got to also have that belief. Like,
exactly
you got, like, if you're a director and you got to make a movie, you got to be like, sure, 100% focused on the film, but you got to have that, I don't
that
know,
drive,
that
that drive.
5% or whatever of this might not work.
Mm,
Obviously, work your ass off and make it work as much as you can,
exactly.
but just keep that in mind. If you're making a movie, 95% of you is like in the movie. This is going to work. You got to keep that 5% of this is not
And
going to work, especially when
exactly.
you don't have a script during a writer's strike.
No, 100%. Because then like you have another scenario where what you call it, like Eternals. Just because this is an A-list actor doesn't mean they're going to do good in the role.
God,
And
no.
just because you flood your movie with A-list actors doesn't
Mhm.
mean the movie is going to do well. So don't flood your movie with A-list actors. Don't try to like you should be like, oh, Harley Quinn, she make a great Lois Lane. Like
Yeah.
no, no. You need to be like what James Gunn did for the last Superman movie. What you call it? Some of these characters, like some of these actors, you haven't even known. A-list actor was what the guy who played what you call it, Lex Luthor,
Yep. Nicholas
A-list
Holt.
actor. Yeah,
Nicholas Holt.
and then Nicholas Hoult. Then like Nathan Fillion, we barely see him in the movies. We usually just see him
Nathan
in
Fillion's
TV
a TV
shows.
actor.
Like
Yeah.
like get people like that to be in your movies, and
Hmm.
then call it, who knows? They could really fit that well. Like Nathan Fillion, he is a great Guy Gardner.
He's great. Yeah.
Like
And he's going to have a huge role in the Green Lantern show, which I'm really excited about.
exactly. Don't oversaturate your movies with A-list actors because it's not always gonna do well. It's gonna cost you way more money,
Hmm.
and it's gonna even be way worse when it hits the box office and nobody likes it.
I mean, another example of A-list actor and no script, Green Lantern. We have Ryan Reynolds. Hey, awesome. Do we have a script? No. Okay, let's start filming. We have the director of Casino Royale. The script is the most important part of your film.
That's why I liked Deadpool once, like Deadpool 2 so much,
Hmm.
because he literally was just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna tell the studios this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Literally goes, kills fucking no mouth to Deadpool. Goes and kills Ryan Reynolds looking
with the Green Lantern
at
script.
the Green Lantern script.
How meta was that? Deadpool
Like
shows up in Ryan Reynolds' house, kills him after reading the Green Lantern script.
that's why I
That is
love
amazing.
that.
I was in the theater when I saw that, and I actually gave a standing ovation.
Like what did it like what I was working during Deadpool 1, not 2. I didn't go to theaters for 2. I went to theaters for 1, but watching it online at home, man, that movie was just funny as shit.
So good. Anyway, so yeah, my picks once again were Joker, Folie à Deux, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Eternals. Brandon, what were your three picks again?
My picks were well it The Marvels, Fan Four Stick, and Birds of Prey.
That's right. All right, guys. I think we've ran out of time. I think we rambled off a little bit too much there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll keep it in the episode. Anyway, guys, that was the Movie Brothers podcast. I had a lot of fun with this one. You have fun, Brandon?
Oh man, I actually really love this because we got into it.
Oh, did we ever? I was not expecting that. This is probably going to be one of our longer episodes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, to the Movie Brothers podcast, I'm Parker Quinn.
I'm Brandon Brown.
Good night and good news.
Goodbye.